Hello there. I thought that since it was Independence Day, that I would share my thoughts on nationalism and just holidays as a whole. First off, coffee. Second off, the witnesses, they don't celebrate any holidays, let alone one that celebrates nationalism, which in and of itself, you're fighting over melanin, the pigmentation of your skin. But that's beside the point. I get it, I understand it, and in principle, it works. But to go and say, well, we're not going to do any holidays at all, when in 1918, I believe, the governing body was selected, and this, that, and the other, and yada, 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 and all that, all the history. But they didn't stop celebrating Christmas or birthdays or anything of the sort until the late 1920s. And speaking of birthdays, I've been silent for the last couple of days because my father's 61st birthday was on all the holidays. The 2nd of this month. I'm not awake enough. I don't do holidays. I never have. I've been spoon-fed this my entire life. And I'm tired of being silent. I'm tired of keeping my mouth shut, not having any independent thought, not having any independent action. The herd mentality of the witnesses is real. You cannot have any independent thought. You have to be loyal. The loyalist stuff that they have now in the conventions and in their newer Bible, that's appalling to me. How can you go and preach about loyalty? Here's a thought, witnesses. How can you preach about loyalty? Say you're the only religion in the world that's correct, not have the facts to back it up, and then go, don't celebrate loyalty. But no, not of our loyalty. Yeah, be loyal to us, but don't be loyal to your country. That seems a little backwards to me. And speaking of nationalism, big shout out to my brain went and drew a blank. I am so sorry. XJW International. She contacted me, and I didn't think that I was making any sort of difference at all. I was just ranting. And she contacted me today and went, hey, can you post videos and you have... I'm not awake. But that's okay. I'm independently able to do so. Ha! But she offered to have me share my videos on her Facebook. And yeah, so thank you for that. And like I told you, this is just my rants, my thoughts of how the witnesses have completely screwed my life over, and the cognitive dissonance that they spew. I can't even. But you can't see it until you wake yourself up, or that seed is planted by someone else and go, well, wait a minute, why can't I independently think? Why can't I independently research? Why can't I do anything outside of the organization? All these whys. And then you're told, nope, it's okay. Just believe what you're told. It's completely fine. It's not. If anyone says to you, believe this because I say so, if someone else on the street goes and says that, what are you going to do? Are you going to believe it? No, you're going to shove them off and go, no, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. Are you for real? The witnesses don't do that. They go and they get told, believe this, and they blindly believe it. That's how it is. That's how it was with me. For the longest time, I was spoon-fed this for years, and I thought that it was okay to not have any independent thought. I thought that it was okay to not celebrate nationalism. I thought that it was okay to not celebrate holidays. It's okay. You're not going to get struck down by a bolt of lightning and turned into a pillar of salt. You're not. Now, I realize that it's hard for people. I haven't celebrated Christmas in years. I haven't given the bowl of candy thing at Halloween for years. I wouldn't be able to tell you when Father's Day is or Mother's Day is. I don't know these things. I don't. I barely even know how old my father is or what his birthday is. If I didn't get a text from him, if I had not have gotten a text from him on the 2nd, then I probably would have just gone and said, well, yeah, okay, it's just another day. I don't look at the calendar, so it just would have passed by. St. Patrick's Day, all the green beer. That's got to be healthy. Just all these holidays I've never paid attention to, and you know what? I think I'm going to start. Knowing the history behind some of them, knowing how old some of them are, does it matter? I haven't turned into a pillar of salt. And as to what I believe, Um, because of what I've experienced, because of what I guess the correct term is seen, but not seen. It's more of a feel. It's a strange sensation. But because of what I know, how I know, I'm not agnostic. I'm not atheist, but I'm not Christian either. I'm in this weird limbo of I make my own fate. All right, easiest way to put it. If you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, I don't believe in fate. I make my own. Period. You make your own choices. You make your own will. It's called free will for a reason. Whether it be God-given or whatnot or what have you, or whatever it is, however it is, you have the capability of independent free thought. Period. Why aren't witnesses using it? Why cannot they go and say, well, I'm going to go and ask you, Brother Let, or Brother Splain, or any members of the governing body, why can't I independently research? Why will you not allow the witnesses as a whole to do so? If you have the truth, if it is really the truth, then it will stand up to any sort of scrutiny, any sort of naysayer, anything. Truth is truth. Period. It does not go away. It does not falter. It does not change. It does not flip-flop. Truth is exactly that. Truth. I found that out. It took me years to get the courage to even think about researching outside of the religion, outside of the cult. Even after I was out, I didn't use the internet. I was afraid of it. And that didn't sit right with me one day, and it just clicked. Why am I doing this to myself? And I kind of dove in head first. And I found that the first thing I found was the 1914 thing, the 1914 607 BCE discrepancy. And that led me to go and say, okay, since their main doctrine is false and you can't prove it, try to, please, prove to me that 607 was the year that Jerusalem fell. Non-doctrinally. go to the Jews and ask them, hey, when was Jerusalem destroyed? I guarantee you they will not say 607 BCE. They keep records of that. But either way, since it is Independence Day, I challenge you to independent thought. How about that? Do research outside of what the witnesses tell you, outside of what the Watchtower organization tells you to do. Don't be a sheep and just blindly follow, being led by the blind. You know the scripture. Don't you think that's a little weird that the blind are leading the blind? Because I do. I always thought it was weird that these happy-go-lucky people are letting the 6 or 7 kings, or however many people are in the governing body, I can't remember at the moment, tell them what to do. And put it under the guise of spiritual food and new light. Jim Jones did the same thing, I'm pretty sure. Or it is a cult. Research outside of your religion. I cannot stress that enough to you. If you are fading or thinking of researching religion before you get into it, before you open the door again and accept a Bible study, go prepared. There is multitudes of information that's theirs, that is their own, that you can use and say, what about blood transfusions? Or what about when Jerusalem was destroyed? Or what about the governing body? What about the 144,000? The 144,000. Bash it to pieces. You have to be an Israelite and a virgin, a male Israelite virgin, to be part of the 144,000 as stated in the scriptures. If you don't believe me, look it up. Prove me wrong. Independent thought is awesome, let me tell you what. And Jill, thanks. I appreciate it. Black Sheep, the unwitnessed. Bye for now, guys.